Hello to the two fans and welcome back. It was a short break. We're right back in, this time for eHug versus Union Gaming. I'm your host, Chicago Ted. Joining me today for this lovely second game is going to be Gudii, or better known as Fan of Soyan. How you doing, man?
Dyer's ban.
You there? We good? Ah, damn. I hate when technical difficulties happen. Well, we'll wait for some response coming out from him. In the meantime, we'll start ahead into this game. We do have a couple of star studs coming on into both these teams. And without further ado, well, let's get you on into the drafting phase. Again, Fan of Soyan will be joining, but we'll be waiting on whether or not he comes in. In the meantime, starting out with the Faceless Void Band, Tidehunter going away, Brewmaster and Death Prophet. So a lot of pushers, a lot of pretty standard, just in the meta heroes getting taken out right now. No use in dwelling on those as we go on to our picks. And again, this is a very high skill NASA game. Both of these teams have made a huge name for themselves. A lot of these players have just been at the top of the level for a lot of these for these teams, so we're hopefully going to see an incredible game coming out. As Ogre Magi gets picked up first by Union Gaming, they're going for the dual head strat so far. Maybe they go for a Jakir. Elder Titan and Venge will come out though on the side of Team eHug. And, well, they've got a lot of minus armor. They've got a lot of magic resist reduction, so they're going to be a very difficult team to deal with.
10 seconds to go.
I mean, if they pick up any sort of right-click area, even anything at this point in the game, going late game against this team is going to be very, very, very difficult. So Union Gaming, they're probably going to have to look to try to end this one early. And, again, I'm going to ping out Gudii. You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, we're good. We got our co-broadcasters. We're ready to go. So, obviously, you've seen these two teams in action. You've studied them. What do you have to say so far going on? Initial thoughts, concerns about both these teams?
So far, the eHug is doing what they're used to do. They love the Elder Titan. They pick it almost every single game, and they play really well with it. It just guarantees that they have like both aggressive kind of play, and at the same time they could just sit back and defend towers. So it's a hero that fits in really well. As for Union Gaming, I was just screaming them before our last match, and they were picking completely differently. So they were also playing with a different roster. They changed it not too long ago, like 2 weeks or maybe. So I'm not sure what kind of play we can expect from Union Gaming this time, but it should be a decent match still.
Yeah, it's going to be a really great match. Terrorblade and Naga Siren, both illusion pushers, getting some hate this game. Both these guys don't really get banned out all that often, but maybe they see something from these teams that I don't. Either one of these teams playing them incredibly well. So, I don't know. Centaur Warrunner Ogre Magi comes out. A huge amount of tankiness coming out from the side of Union Gaming, and that might help their early aggression because of the sheer fact that they've got plenty of lockdown and plenty of, again, early tank that they should be able to stand up to Team eHug and just roll over them, at least in the early fights. As, again, we talk about this late game lineup from Team eHug, but so far the early game they've got some lockdown, but we're going to be having to wait and see what they decide to pull out of their hats for the next couple of picks.
Yeah, definitely. It's really weird that Union Gaming picked the center this early. We don't even see the hero that often anymore. Definitely not on the first two. But then again, my team first picks Omni every time, and that's also unusual. So who am I to like complain about the center pick?
Yeah, well, I mean, you first picked Omni last time, and last game, and it worked pretty damn well against the almost thought to be near unbeatable Drow Visage strat that's been coming out a lot in the scene. So kudos to you guys. Again, if you weren't watching the prior game, our host or our lovely guest here, Fan of Soyan or Gudii, did play against Teamwork Makes the Dream Work with fielding players such as Universe, Monkeys Forever. They had a really strong team, and, well, Gudii and squad ended up crushing over them. So very well played to you, and that was our first game of the day. So we started out strong, a lovely game for that, and we're looking at more games to come out as Team eHug. They're going to go ahead and pop out the Razor while banning the Anti-Mage Shadow Fiend getting taken out. So a lot of maybe mid to late game carries getting taken out of the pool right now.
Yeah, definitely Union Gaming studied eHug for this match because they're banning pretty much all the heroes that they like to play. Terrorblade is one of their main carries for eHug, and they've been doing Shadow Fiend a lot recently, so both of the bans are justified, at least against eHug. As for Team eHug, for their bans, is like I said, this is a new roster for Union Gaming, so they don't really know what to expect, and I'm pretty sure they're just going for the safe options like the Naga Siren and AAM for this case. So.
Oh God, I'm looking. It looks like we've got a huge update coming out pretty soon. So
to go.
I hope that doesn't drop tonight. That would put a huge damper on the evening.
5 seconds.
But yeah, going back to the game, Skywrath Mage getting picked out, and I mean works pretty good with this line. They've got a lot of lockdown between the Stomp, the Fire Blast, and I mean Tidehunter is gone. Faceless Void is also gone. So not many other things can go well with this Skywrath. Maybe they pick up something like a Legion Commander, though. I wouldn't put that as too strong of a pick, as, I mean, that hero, we've seen her get picked up every now and then and just hasn't performed as well as we'd have hoped. Broodmother's still in the pool, though. We do see her come out a little bit, and certainly not the kind of pick you want to pick up if you're on Union Gaming going against the Elder Titan, but, I mean, has been shown to be pretty strong. Team eHug, though, with a Razor pick, definitely showing some early and mid-game dominance. Is going to probably win his lane, as Razors typically do. Last game, kind of an anomaly, though not really. And we'll have to see what Team eHug go ahead and go for their 4th pick. Do you think there's going to be a support Elder Titan? Definitely.
Yeah, definitely. That's what they did. That's how they use the hero.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were maybe going to go for something a little bit different. If they had picked up a 4th pick support, maybe, but no, they're going to go ahead with the Batrider, which gives them a lot of leeway for pickoffs and, you know, trying to take mid-game fights. But he can suffer pretty well in lane if they are able to shut him out, can farm up effectively. But if you can keep him at level 1 or even level 2, then you can keep him pretty much in chains. As speaking of heroes in chains, Slark, you can't put this guy in chains, though you can go through his entirely squishy nature. He's going to be an interesting player in this game. Of course, with Razor out on the field, very tanky, can sit up to what Slark has to offer, but Batrider might have a little bit of trouble if he can get lasso, won't be able to force staff away. And Elder Titan and Venge, not necessarily known for their ability to stand up to raw right clicks, so Slark may end up being a pretty good contributing factor this game.
Yeah, it was a really good pick. It works against all the heroes that eHug currently has. Like, even though the Razor is decent against the Slark, but if the Slark gets the initiation on him, he can just drain all of the stats from the Razor, and that's just going to benefit the Slark on the fights. So it's going to be interesting. Hopefully they can pull it off. Union Gaming definitely has the better lineup at this point. They have the better early game and mid game, so if they get a bunch of kills, I think they can snowball out of control really quick.
Yeah, we're going to be looking for that one. Again, Team eHug, I think they're the team that wants to just take it late, take it slow, and not give up too much advantage. I don't see a famous Merlini hero coming out just yet. You think we're going to see something along those lines?
I think we're going to see the Zeus come in really soon.
The what?
It could fit the Zeus.
Oh, Zeus. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
He does fit in this lineup, especially with the Elder Titan.
Yeah.
Like, he could work. I wonder, though. I'm kind of excited. I'm jittering in my chair.
It definitely works. It's hard to say what they're going to do with the Razor. They run it as a mid hero and a safe lane farmer, but
10 seconds to go.
I'm feeling like it's going to be the Zeus. Even despite Merlini being on the game, like, it's just the hero can actually help them. They need, like, really burst damage.
Yeah, they're going to have to find some way to get rid of that Slark quick and easy. And of course, he does end up falling to the wayside if you can lock him down, maybe with a lasso before he gets the Dark Pact off, and drop a Astral Spirit onto him and hit him with lightning a couple of times, he will die. So we'll have to see. Spectre getting taken out of the pool, and Storm Spirit. They're going to go for the Invoker pick. That's interesting, and I'm trying to remember. It's Infinity who plays Invoker, and he plays it incredibly well. So where do you think we're going to be seeing Merlini in this game?
I think it's going to be Merlin Invoker and Infinity going into the Bad Rider. I'm not sure if Merlin is a offlaner player. I know that Infinity can play both mid
10
offlane and
seconds to
safe
go.
lane. So since they're using the standing, maybe they're just going to adapt to the standing
5
and have him
seconds.
on whatever works better for him. So it's up to Merlin if he is a good
Reserve
invoker or not.
time.
We're going to find out really soon. Union Gaming, I don't know. Given this lineup, it looks like they're going to be picking up their mid laner. And already Storm was banned out. What would you put it on to be the best hero? I would think something that goes really well in the early mid game. Maybe something like a Puck.
It could be a Puck, maybe a Viper, something like more stable.
Viper, that's a good point, too.
Yeah, the Viper could actually stand up to the eHug heroes. Oh, they're gonna go with the Pucks.
They're going to go with the Puck.
Still, it's good.
Oh yeah, that amazing burst damage again. A really strong early mid game hero because you pointed it out exactly. They got to win this early mid, and it's going to be Merlini Razor with Infinity playing that Invoker. I think it's going to be a carry Invoker though, mid Razor. That was where I would put my money on it. So we're going on to the game. Any final thoughts about this draft before we start introducing teams?
I still favor Union's gaming lineup. I think they're more aggressive, but at the same time, eHug it does this a lot. Like they are a greedy team, for I could say, like they pick greedy. So, and they pull it off pretty well. So it's not like the first time they're going to be facing an aggressive lineup. So I'm just looking forward to see how they'll
10 seconds to
go up against them.
All right, got a little bit of technical
5
difficulty
seconds.
getting Union Gaming to pick their heroes. So. We'll start with Team eHug to introduce these teams. We go right on into the game here as a pause does come out. Typical
Union Gaming.
You guys didn't have
Yeah.
a pause, right? So I think we went straight on into your game.
So.
Yeah, that was pretty quick. I remember it started off with a bang. So,
Oh,
this
we
gives
had a
us-
few pauses later, so.
maybe. We're gonna go ahead and start out though. We've got eHug versus Union Gaming. CEVO Season 6, Week 2, Day 2, Match 2. A lot of twos, but certainly certainly no number 2s here. We've got Lust going to be on the Vengeful Spirit with 7 on the Bat Rider, Infinity on the Invoker, Sna on the Elder Titan, and our star of the night, Merlini, on the Razor. And I got to point out, by the way, we are joined not only by Fan of Soyan as a co-caster, but also by Cart Dota on stats. He's going to be dropping all of those extra little bits of knowledge throughout the game, and we look forward to having him here. So looking at Union Game, it's going to be Greedy on the Centaur War Runner, Z-Talk on the Skywrath Mage, Leo Style on the Puck, Jericho on the Ogre Magi, and Benhaz will be playing the Slark. And yeah, 6.83 patch notes were released, and you know this game will be a lot better than reading those notes, but I will have to go through those after this game by nature. I'm really excited to see that one out, but the last game of one of the last games of 6.82 going to be coming out right now, and we're here to witness it.
Yep. Now I'm more interested on reading the patch notes than the actual game, so I'm gonna blame that on the stats man.
Oh man, yeah, Cart Dota, you're gonna get blamed a lot this game. We're looking for it right now. So, the Horn hasn't even called, and already we have an Ignite coming
30
out
seconds
on to
to
7.
showtime.
Looked like for a second he may have wanted to just go back to base, but I think his passive regen will cover most of his trouble. So he'll just go ahead and block. As another pause coming out, Union Gaming seem to be having a little bit of technical issues right now, and could be the servers going down to 2 things getting released. I know we had some trouble setting up this lobby as the network went down, but I don't know. Maybe just some general troubles coming out from this team. Wouldn't doubt them. So
At this point, I don't even know if they have bad internet or computers because they do this every single game. They are very infamous for actually doing it on purpose. There was a
Oh, yeah, for
thread
the
on
warning.
Reddit against them. Yeah, I think it was Ismike that pointed it out. So since then, they still do it, and it's really hard to say if they're actually doing it on purpose or not. I know for a fact that South Americans have a lot of problems.
yeah, so let's keep an eye on these wars then. Maybe we spot out some suspicious activity and we can call them out on it. Because I know CEVO having Union Gaming being regulars in our league, we respect the team, and we're very disappointed with those allegations coming out. But we are keeping a watchful eye for these kind of things coming out. we're very well known in the CSGO committee for being very active in getting rid of abusers. So that's no different for Dota2. So we'll keep an eye on that one. Maybe we catch something, but hopefully we don't. In the meantime, it looks like they're all back and ready to go.
Yeah, hopefully we get this game started before actually open the class notes.
Because I think we have one more game for the night after this before I'm off. There were 4 games today, but if you were watching in the intermittent between, I had to change one of those games to rescheduled. The last game, Vale QQ versus Gudii, got rescheduled to 9:30 tonight, so it's going to be happening in tandem with this game. It actually is starting right now, so unfortunately we will not be able to broadcast that one. But we do still have one more game of the night, so we are not short at all on Dota 2 action for CEVO. And, well, the horn finally calls after what feels like forever.
The game is on.
And as said by the Bastion announcer, the game is on. So, Illusion Rune being caught out by Jericho, Bounty Rune on Merlini. And those, a thing of the past. But for now, we'll see one final iteration of it. As 7, yeah, he's going to go ahead and just block off this creep. He's getting a pretty good block right now. And not going to let the range one go first, as is typical fashion sometimes with offlaners.
He's going to do it then, right now. He just saved it for the last.
It's probably not going to make that much of a difference.
Yeah, he messed up.
All right, so Ben has already going off onto 7. They're going to go ahead and drop an Arcane Bolt. It might be fishy for them to clean him up. Maybe one more auto attack and Arcane. It could be enough. They just need vision. One auto attack and they got it. Well, first blood for a Z-Talk, and that is huge for a Skywrath mage.
Yeah, that was a huge mistake by the Battle Rider. Going up that far into the lane. He actually could have died a lot easier if the Skywrath just went for the slow first.
You think? The Arcane Bolt was a huge player in that one, but I wouldn't doubt you. The slow is a very, very big lane winner. I mean, what is that, a 30% slow at level 1? So it's
it's 4 seconds. So the Slacker could have got another 3 or 4 right clicks together with the Skywrath, so it would have been about the same. In the end, they got the kill, so that's all that matters, I guess.
Yeah, that is a good point. He's already back at it, very aggressive right now. There is an Ignite on Jericho. That's the slow that we're talking about too. I mean, it's not as potent, but still there and still lasts. So if he plays too aggressive, he could just die again. And I mean, he's gonna have to be really, really careful about this one in the mid lane, as it looks like Z-Talk and Jericho, they're just waiting for it. Meanwhile, Leo Style against Infinity. Leo Style takes a couple of tower hits and loses whatever harass advantage he just had by taking 2 tower hits and an auto attack. And Infinity is just gonna cross himself back up to full.
Yeah, actually the puck was completely winning the lane until that point. He got hit by the tower.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. Looking at the other lane, the one we haven't talked about yet, Gudii is going to have an Invis Rune sitting up close to the wave. Meanwhile, Lust and Merlini. Merlini's looking decent on the last hits. He's got 11 and 4, 12 and 4 now to the 13 and 5 of Ben has.
Taking hits.
We got to keep an eye. One of the wards are already dewarded, by the way, so got to have to take a look at that one maybe with a sharper eye. But aside from that, it looks like things are developing quite slowly right now. eHug are just gearing themselves up. Yeah, mid lane. Leo Style looking for the second blood right now, but with a tornado coming out, it's going to be enough. The last auto attack will clean him up. Leo Style finding the solo kill and is already back to winning the lane. Infinity, a rare miss on his Invoker play.
Yeah, it's actually a good play by the puck player himself. He's actually a player to keep an eye out for. Because he's new into Insane, but he's been doing really well recently.
Is he standing
on the scrims?
Right
No, he's actually on the roster.
He is on the roster. All right. Have they changed their roster recently? Because I don't recognize the name.
That's what I was saying on the draft, that they have a new roster. They switch, I think, 3 players.
And it looks like he almost dies in the mid lane, but gets away with an orb. And this isn't an Cross Exhort Invoker, so no Sunstrike to try to clean him up. So this does help. Infinity has plenty of HP regen, but this could be another kill for Leo Style. He just goes right into this one, and he will grab this. Leo Style is looking really, really strong, as you said, and a new addition to the roster. Definitely someone to keep an eye on, again, as you pointed out. So we'll be looking at him through this game to really propel Union Gaming as eHug, they drop 0-3, and it's already looking fairly difficult for them for the 2 of the 3 lanes.
Yeah, definitely. This is what I was worrying about. Not so much. I didn't expect the laning phase to go this bad. At least not on the mid lane, because it's hard to get the kills on both heroes. Like they both shouldn't be struggling to kill the enemy heroes, but Leo style is completely destroying Infinity.
Yeah, I think Infinity is getting a little bit cocky with his regen, as pointed out. As Razor, ooh, this is a behind tier 2 bottom dive, and Razor will find Gudii. I don't know if he's living up to his name or not, but I don't know. They give up 1 kill, putting eHug finally on the board 4.5 minutes in, as the top tier 1 tower taking a little bit of harass, maybe trying to trade this one out. The supports have rotated themselves away. Lust very low, not able to get anything more than just a trip back to the fountain, as on a stack coming out from the Elder Titan. 7 getting dived by Jericho. Z-Talk coming out as we look on mid. Again, Infinity going to go get Dream Coil, but it looks like the one to die will be 7. No, 7 staying alive. Meanwhile, Infinity, he's going to get Delve on, and Leo Style finds the kill with a skill shot on the orb. Maybe he goes for more, but it could be very, very greedy, as in comes Sna looking for something, but it's a bottle out from Leo Style, which means he is perfectly all right. And they get the kill on the Invoker. Infinity goes down. 7 still alive, but has to go all the way back to the base. Things are developing really, really quickly for Union Gaming. And that snowball that you pointed out is starting to start rolling.
Look at the level difference. Infinity's low 5, is about to be low 6, but the Poke's 8. And getting out of control this mid-game. This middle lane, mostly.
Yeah, Infinity and Invoker is not someone you want to fall behind on levels on. And I mean, ideally, on the Invoker, you can get something like a Midas out really quickly with your last hitting and just snowball out of control with your levels from there. But he's going to have to get forced to go for phase boots. And sitting at level 6, as you pointed out, 2 levels behind Leo Style, who can now just start ganking and creating space across the map. He instead decides to finish up the mid lane, though, maybe trying to go for some more farm. And do you think this is the right option, or should he start being a little bit more aggressive across the map?
No, he needs to keep on dominating the middle line and just stick to rotating with runes or a TP. He shouldn't be wasting time. Like, if he leaves this lane right now, then Infinity is going to catch up and come back at him. Yeah. Look at the Razor though. He went for a Midas. This is actually a little bit of a worry. They're already kind of struggling just a little bit, so
yeah,
this is just more of a greedy play from Team eHug.
I think at this point they want to stall. Like, Puck is not. I mean, he can carry a game fairly well. He's got a lot of solo pickoff. He's got a lot of team fight. But in terms of high ground defense, I mean, there is still a chance that they can just turtle this one out. And with a Midas out onto Infinity, or not, sorry, Infinity, onto Merlini, they could see items come out even if they lose all of their map control. So maybe that's what they're going on. They're banking on stalling this game as much as possible and going to the late game. But whether or not it works is really up to Union Gaming. Yep, back towards mid, and a Dream Coil spent solo onto Infinity, and this is going to be his 4th death. Pops out the tornado, but it's not really going to help him. And Jericho this time will find the kill, but the score is 1-5 at 7.5 minutes, and Union Gaming are giving almost nothing to eHug. Take a look at the golden XP grabs really quick. 3K and pretty much golden XP, both for Union Gaming. Really just putting on a show right now.
Yep. I didn't expect this. It's quite surprising, to be honest. Union Gaming is playing this well.
I mean, it happens, and really when you draft a lineup like this, I mean, they gave Leo Style obviously a hero that he's really comfortable with, and throughout the map, I mean, Slark is a strong laner. Both Ogre and Skyrath have proven to be really strong early game supports, so they've drafted pretty much two lanes to win right now, and that's exactly what's happened. And the only lane that isn't quote-unquote winning is still sitting at level 6 and holding his own, albeit now getting forced back by a static link. But Infinity could end up dying again, as it looks like Leo Style got to get away. 7 is there, but in comes the backstab by Z-Talk and Jericho. Lust TPs himself in, throws out a magic missile on Z-Talk. Now they're going to lasso him back, and they should find a kill this time. Ben has looking for Infinity, will get the lasso off, but oh no!
Oh my god.
The orb comes in and cleans him up. Ogre Magi, though, will go down, making it a 2-for-1 as Seven pauses the game after that fight. But in a 2-for-1 situation, both supports for your mid. Obviously, you don't want your mid laner to die, but those are fairly good kills for eHug regardless.
Yeah, they overcommitted a little bit, diving onto the towers, and they gave a few kills to eHug, but at the same time, they keep on controlling the Invoker. I almost feel bad for Frankie, like he's having a really hard game. And the Invoker is not really a hero that just comes back that easily. They need to find him some room to actually breathe and get some levels.
Yeah, and with Quas Wex Invoker, he's got really no fast farming mechanic. Typically, when you see Invokers behind, sometimes if they go Quas Exhort, they can pop up Spears and just farm the jungle. But, I mean, he's mostly team fight. And at the moment, he can't team fight. He can't be within 100 meters of Union Gaming's lineup, or he just dies. All Leo Style has to do is look at him funny, and he goes down. So right now, things are not looking good for Infinity, who, I mean, I rave constantly about how this guy is a really great Invoker, but again, this is just one of those, quote, rare misses coming out from him.
Yeah, he's a really good player overall. It's just one bad game can really affect you. And with this bad of a start, it's going to be even harder. Look at bottom.
Man, Merlini's in a little bit of trouble. They're going to go ahead, drop all sorts of lockdown. He just goes down. There is no resistance to killing that Razor. Plenty of magic damage. And overall, I mean, that's everyone, essentially, on eHug has gone down. Almost everyone. I think the supports have still lived through it all. But, yeah, Elder Titan and Venge have both lived through it all. But everyone else has pretty much suffered, and that's not good when your cores are the ones just dropping. And speaking of cores, this is a Midas Razor whose Midas came off cooldown after he died. Like, this is the worst it can get right now if you're Merlini.
Yeah. Trying to be aggressive on bottom, try to keep Union Gaming out of the lane, but it's not going to be enough. They were still hanging around. Yeah, the center's getting close to the dagger as well.
Yeah, they've got both supports just sitting down here. They can't win this lane. An aggressive tri-lane that starts out with both enemy supports already super leveled is not an aggressive tri-lane that you want to take. So they're looking pretty good. Leo Style gets stomped in the mid lane. Now he does have an orb, and he's got a phase shift, and he will pop the orb. The phase still out, but gets himself away, and they spend a lot to go on that one. In fact, he's going to blink in for the tower kill, gets the tower kill, drops a Dream Coil, and gets away. Meanwhile, Lust Merlini trying to make something happen in the bottom rune spot, but not able to close the distance with anyone, and, well, they can't find even an inch. Union Gaming is just not giving them.
Yeah, what a player. But he got the tower. I wasn't actually watching, but I was trying to see if they get the kill on the supporters of Union Gaming, but they get away in the end, so things are not going too well for eHug. Nothing is working out. Yeah,
and this could all just go back to the draft. They may have drafted just a little bit too late, but really, I'd pinpoint this one down to their lanes just not working out. Batrider, they had hoped to be able to at least sit close and find some golden XP and get an early blink, and 12-minute blink is still respectable. I mean, he's not doing too terrible, but they'd have hoped he wouldn't just die outright like he did in the early game. Merlini, they want to try to keep alive as long as possible, but this could be his death. The Flame Blast comes out, Mystic Flare, and he's just straight up dead. Leo Style goes in, and he might find more. He's on to Lust, and maybe in a little bit of trouble. They got Tornado out into an Astral Spirit Stomp, and they get it out. Now an Earth Splitter comes out. Who does it hit? Pretty much no one, but finally Leo Style goes down. Ben has looking for Infinity, pops himself into the shadows, but finds one, gets swapped out, but Lust will take the sacrifice. Seven could actually drop as well, but the kill goes to Infinity. A 3-for-3, and Infinity survives. Oh, hold on. Sna will find Jericho. So a 4-for-3. Infinity survives it, pops himself up to level 10, and his net worth is still very, very low, but I don't know. In the grand scheme of things, it's a start, as we see eHug getting about a 1,400 gold swing and experience swing from that fight. The golden XP grabs are still within about 2,000, both near zero for experience.
Yeah, that's the fight that eHug needed really badly. Infinity got a lot out of that. He might even go for the Midas at this point just to secure his recovery into the game. It wouldn't be that bad at this point.
Yeah,
We'll see what he goes
to
for.
Farm, and I don't know. I feel like it's a really risky pickup, but at the moment they have to take risks because the early game started so poorly. I mean, they are back to about equilibrium in Golden XP, so it's not as bad as it was a couple of minutes ago, but because as you said, they took the fight they needed.
Radiant's bottom tower ain't a
But I don't know if that might just be a little bit too risky. Mid lane, though, they could find more as Zitok gets lassoed up, pops a Mystic Flare, but it misses entirely. And Merlini finds himself a kill, put himself 2-2. And his net worth is looking fairly good. Gudii finds a kill on Snado in the bottom lane. Infinity's still alive, looking for a return.
The Jukes.
Yeah, he's trying to find vengeance on this, and Jericho making the run around. Leo Style looking for more as well. Ghostwalk comes out though, and they cannot find the kill, but maybe we see more Lust going in, looking for the swap, but won't get it out. And now Leo Style and Jericho both make their run on foot, and they'll get themselves away, so they find a solo kill onto Sna, and that's about it.
Yeah, there was a little bit too much commitment for the other Titan kill, but they didn't give anything in return, so it's not about big loss at all. The center got away, that's important, so
yeah, Centaur and
they might go on Invoker again, bottom.
Well, they see him, but he's got plenty of support on the way, and yeah, he's got both Batrider and Lust hanging around close, so if they go on him, he won't be gone on without a fight, and it looks like they'll just play it cautiously for now. They've got an aggressive Observer Ward sitting out in the lane right now, so they can spot out if Lust shows his face. I think he showed for a little bit of time. They've also got another one sitting way back behind the lane, so they have full disclosure onto where eHug are standing. And it looks like they're just going to go for this bottom tier 1 tower. Plenty of ward coverage, plenty of aggression, and this is just going to be a free tier 1. And I don't think that eHug can make a stand anywhere else in the map to equalize this. So they're just going to give away their last tier 1 tower with pretty much nothing in return.
Yep. But the sometimes they're farming, so it's not so bad.
Yeah.
They don't want to give away more kills than they already have. They just need to play safe and try to defend the towers that are actually possible. For example, the tier 2s are much easier to defend.
Yeah, and their items aren't looking as bad as they did a little bit ago. Of course, you got double blink coming out. Ben has and Gudii both. Actually, triple blink. Ben has Gudii and Leo Style.
Look a bit.
One going to get shown right now. It's going to be Gudii going on to Merlini, but there's going to be a tornado and an EMP coming out. They swap him back, and that is a dead Centaur War Runner. Again, a little greedy for him. Maiden Voyage on the blinker, one of them, and he ends up going down. So they find themselves a kill, making the score 9-11 at 16 minutes. And, well, eHug, they're almost out of the woods. But I still think Union Gaming have a very strong lineup right now. And if they can continue to farm up fairly well, continue to take these free towers, they should have a very successful game for the next 10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah, there was a little bit miscommunication from the Union Gaming players. The center wanted to go in. The Skyrim just sat on the tower, just standing still, didn't even move. And so in the end, the center blink, seeing it alone, and ends up feeding a kill.
Yep, 7. Speaking of feeding a kill, it's going to go down. Leo Style drops a Dream Coil and everything. And, well, we talked about his solo kill potential, and that's Puck for you. Now 70 seconds on the Dream Coil. Maybe has to hold back with the aggression a little bit, but he's got a haste rune. He's not really fearing too much right now. And with him and Jericho setting themselves up in the bottom lane, maybe they try to get a little bit of chip damage down on the tower, but we've got Lust positioning himself close by, and it looks like we probably have some teleports ready to come in if they need to defend this. So I don't know if they can yeah, they're going to back themselves off, not looking to progress this push any further, and going back to farming up some lanes and trying to get more of an advantage than they already have, as 2,000 in gold their way, but eHug have found a 1,500 experience advantage, and Sna will press the F9 key for the, well, 10th time this match as we take a short break, catch our breath, and, well, what do you got to say so far? I'll throw the floor to you.
Look at the Slark. They got a really interesting pickup. They went for the early jump. They have the map control, so this item is actually going to pay off really well. And with the Slark, you can just know where the wars are and just blink and get them all.
I don't think the
This is
gem
definitely
is making too much of a difference. Look at these
No, right
sentry
now-
wards.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they just got it right now. So he hasn't left the top lane at all. So
Yeah.
once he starts moving, then it should actually make a lot of a big impact into the game. Because Team eHug definitely needs to have the map vision to actually be able to farm safely and get back into the game. Because they're doing fine, they're getting back into the game, they're slowly getting farm on the heroes that matter, but it's not enough, they need a lot more.
Yeah. I don't know, man. If you were to make a prediction right now, looking at this game, top down, face value, do you think you see a solid winner of this game?
I think it's going to be eHug. Like after the bottom fight, they're back on it. They don't feel the pressure to end the game really quick. They can actually go late game and still be the stronger team, just out of the experience that the players have.
All right, so you've got points sitting in the basket of eHug, and I tend to agree. They have shown a lot of fighting presence in this early, and again, they just want to delay this game. I mean, they do have a team that could win it within the next 15 minutes, given the right items and given the right fights, but they have the late game. I mean, I cannot stress enough the amount of scaling damage that these guys can do throughout the game, and it's almost scary to think about, so we'll have to keep an eye on if eHug gives them any more room, but at the moment, they've given eHug an inch, the inch that they almost didn't give them early on, and eHug have taken themselves a mile. So now starting on in, the F9 was paused, the G's flew, and ready to go. It looks like eHug, they see the writing on the wall, and they're going for more, but they end up just de-warding right now as benhaz can see the wards with his ultimate and the gem of tree sight, and he's just going to go ahead and take every last bit, as you said, of map vision out of the hands of eHug and try to secure them that extra map control. But across the map, it just comes down to which team can farm it up faster, as Merlini, for the first time, gives eHug a point up in the net worth, taking the first slot of the net worth chart was 9,400 gold in the in total.
Yeah, the Midas effect in place ended up being the item that he actually needed to get.
Pretty sight right now.
All right, so bottom tier 2 taking some aggression, and it looks like Union Gaming are holding themselves close in position. They maybe want to kill Infinity. He seems like the easy kill right now.
They're going,
putting out the orb, and yeah, that's what they're going to go for. They get the Dream Coil onto 2. The Earth Splitter comes out, and now it's double stomp. Greedy actually gets canceled by the Earth Splitter. 7's still alive, but Snaz alive and kicking. benhaz now in a lot of trouble. Merlini going onto him with Eye of the Storm. Leo Style is dropping very, very low. Pots out the phase shift, but no orb to get himself away. Does have a blink. Blinks into the trees and teleports himself out. Infinity has no lockdown for that. And they only drop 2, and at eHug, they lose 3. It seemed a little bit better than it was for them, but their cores are alive and kicking and doing absolute work in this fight, and that's a sure sign of things to come.
Yeah, it was definitely a lot better for eHug at the end of the fight. They get the gem away from the
huge.
Union Gaming. They kill both of the cores. Like they get a kill on Slark and Center, and they only traded 2 of the supports left and Abba Rider. So it's definitely worth it for eHug.
Yeah, it's a 1,600 goal or 1,800 goal swing now, I think. Already just in the year in 20 minutes, that's a huge amount of gold just from a gem alone. Not even talking about the team fight. We're going to take a look at the graphs real quick and see that giant rise that are about to come out of them. Experience only slightly because, again, they lost 3 to the 2 of Union Gaming. But gold, they definitely came out in advantage of that one. And they're pulling themselves back towards equilibrium. In fact, finally crossing the 0 marker in net worth. So the graphs don't lie. eHug have not put themselves in a bad position anymore in this game and are now looking to pull together a big chance of winning this game. Union Gaming, though, I don't think they're going to give up that easily. Let's see what they can do to turn this early game gone sour into a successful mid.
Yeah, you can see eHug is smoking, but I don't think they should be doing this right now. They need to finish the first half on the Bar Rider. That's really important for them. Bar Rider is not the same without a force staff and a blink.
They have
He
a
just
force
doesn't
on
have the same
Invoker,
Radiant's
so
bottom tower ain't a pretty
maybe
sight right
he's
now.
kind of like their makeshift force staff for now before Batrider gets one of his own. And oh, do they think this is the real one? Please no, they don't. Okay. They just didn't have the tornadoes stop the push. Makes sense. Gudii in the top lane going to get hit by the Echo Stomp as the bottom tier 2 tower gets denied. 11 to 15, 22 minutes, and well, some of the items, Merlini did finish that BKB a while ago and is now looking for an Aghanim Scepter. And that's a pretty huge pickup. That opens up a whole new world of pushing for them as they start to take down tier 1 towers one by one. Sna is looking also pretty good. Probably going to be going for that Yule Scepter of Divinity coming out fairly soon, sitting on the Sage's Mask and the Void Stone. Everyone else, Lust, okay. Urn of Shadows, not bad. Batrider getting close to that Force Staff as we mentioned, and Infinity, Force Staff, Phase, and well, his gold per minute is accelerating pretty quickly. He's now 4th on the board, whereas Union Gaming, their item progression, it feels like it kind of stunted a little bit. Leo Style has a Lincolns, and yeah, top lane, they are trying to kill Leo Style, but he's away. Invis Greedy, though, will drop, and that's in the fire and flames of 7 there, so that's the first kill they get in this fight. And the only kill for now as Leo Style gets himself away. And I'm going to take a quick look at that recap again. It's just a 900 gold swing from that kill alone, 1,000 experience change, and
Radiant structures must have been
it looks like they're going to try to trade a tier 2 for a tier 1, but even with that, I think the fight's already won for eHug. It looks like Leo Style, though, is just going to go straight on in. Not going to find much. They don't have an Orchid to stop him, and even if they did, the Lincoln Sphere helping him out more than ever. And Sna, maybe in a little bit of trouble, uses Echo Stomp to clear himself some room, but Ogre Magi will throw in a Fire Blast to secure that kill. Benhaz gets himself away, and record speed. But Jericho, not as lucky. He'll go down, and I mean, a 1-for-1, support for a support, not too terrible. No towers go down in that entire thing. The trade didn't end up netting anything, and well, that'll be the end of that fight for now, but eHug again, just slowly but surely scrunching their way back and back, further and further. Leo Style, 1,000 gold. He's got Lincoln's Blink. What do you think he's going to go for next?
It's probably a Scepter, the Aghamins. It's like the most common item right now. Yeah, it's usually what people go for. I'm surprised that he went for the Lincolns. It's not necessarily that good. I guess against a bad ride, it's always going to pay off at some point, but I really thought he was going for the ship because they're going to need like an instant disable later on. Maybe he goes back for the ship right now.
Maybe. Benhaz finds a really good item pickup, by the way. He picks himself up his Eye of Scotty. So that's a very nice amount of tankiness and damage for him. We'll see if that comes into play pretty soon. Ogre Magi getting close to that Force Staff. Skywrath Mage kind of look like the Vengeful Spirit in terms of build. Gonna look for a some power treads pretty soon, as I imagine that would be his. Nope, Sentry Ward's coming out to him, so that'll be delayed a little bit further. And Jericho, well, we already talked about it. Force Staff almost ready to go. So items are actually looking pretty good on both teams. The Golden XP grabs are very similar. Union Gaming actually pulling a lot of room back in the last couple of minutes in their advantage, but nothing too substantial. Pretty small in the grand scheme of things when you're looking at a 25-minute game. And at the moment, I gotta say, things could not be any closer right now.
Yeah, definitely. Union Gaming is finally doing the right thing. They're slowly down the pace of the game. I think they got a little bit overexcited out of the great early game they had, and they were diving towers and going for bad plays, like bad calls and stuff like that. So right now they're just trying to farm up, finish some items, and then try to go for the pickups into towers. As for eHug, they're just going to sit back and take any farm they can get.
Yeah, that's going to be the main plan right now. Roshan still alive, hasn't seen any aggression right now, and neither team really making a look to go for him, as Both, again, as you said, they're just fair to farm it slowly
Look
but safely. Merlini now in a little bit of trouble. They're going to blink in and stop. He pops his BKB now. Either storm. And here's a counter initiation as Seven makes his way on in. Gudii should end up just dropping here, but Merlini's going to go down. They got the Scotty on Benhaz, and the damage was enough. Now Seven with Dream Coil drops the gem. That goes back the other way. An Earth Splitter comes out. The Astral Stomp stuns up Benhaz, but it's not going to be much. That's 2 for 0 in Union Gaming. With that slow farm, have now progressed themselves.
Can we get another kill? Look at Lust.
Yep. Lust is in a lot of trouble, and I mean, he's just going to drop here. Nothing he can do.
Yep.
Will go down. Fight recap. That doesn't include Lust just yet, but that's a huge amount of golden XP now going to Union Gaming. And their already scrounged back lead is accelerating downwards as eHug. I mean, they had it, seemed like they had it for a short amount of time, but their just weaker mid-game lineup is now starting to come into play as Infinity will go down completely, and Benhaz will find himself a killing spree.
Radiant's mid tower's getting banged up.
Yeah, the pick-off was really important for Union Gaming. Merlini feeling off there. He used to BKB to try to get away, but the Scotty is just such a great item for the Slark on this game. Even for against a Razor that runs this fast, he couldn't get away from the Slark.
Yep, so now they're going to pull themselves back into the jungle. It looks like finally Roshan will see some hate. The big guy goes down for stealing from the shop. And yeah, I don't think there's any way for Union Gaming to contest this, let alone even spot it out, as they did give the gem back. And I think that, does that go back onto Slark? No,
they wanna contest it. I think they're going to try, but it's not gonna be on time. Because
they can't make it.
Yeah, they were like grabbing from smoking, grouping up, but I guess they realized that we're not going to get there in time.
Yeah, Puck finds the gem, by the way, so he's got that ready to go. Able to get that nice vision from the orb, so he's got a good D-ward ability too. Benhaz will be able to scout those out for him. Speaking of, he finds himself the Aegis of Immortality with a Basher. Merlini gets an Aghanim Scepter, adding to his pure tank right now, but as we saw in the last fight, if he gets focused down by the Slark, he is as good as dead. So we'll have to keep an eye out for that. Slark, by the way, taking the top of the net worth board, and they're going to, well, eHug are going to group up, try to push out the top lane. Seven is waiting. If anyone tries to TP in to defend this, they can try to go for a quick and early pickoff. But the smart thing is coming out from Zitok as he makes his way to the Tier 2 tower and is going to go in the slow way. The rest of his team going around, not teleporting directly to. They don't want to give Seven the option for a quick pickoff, and they're just going to wait. Maybe they forfeit the tower, but they're going for the backstab, and I think eHug realized this. We'll see when the initiation comes out. It's going to be first Benhaz jumps on in, finds Lust, almost blind, and Lust will just go straight on down. Merlini with a BKB diving in on everything. Leo style will go down. Earth Splitter hitting on top of him. Benhaz going to go ahead and clean up Infinity, now on the run, but the gem goes the way of Sna. And Zitok gets spotted out. It looks like Elder Titan, Centaur Warrunner will go down to the Echo Stomp. Benhaz now wants more, finds Merlini, gets the lash up. They popped down the Fire Blast. He's going to TP himself away, and Benhaz could end up dropping his first life right now, and will do so. Sna has a gem, remember, though, and it will drop back, and, well, fight of the gem. As it goes back the way of Union Gaming, a 2 for 2, and the fight recap, sorry, 3 for 3. And the fight recap showing neither team getting too much of an advantage. But overall, it's going to be the tower going the way of eHug. And Union Gaming, I don't think, maybe they make a little bit of aggression on this Tier 2 tower, but I'm not quite sure they can clean it up just yet.
Radiant's top tower.
Yeah, any even fight that eHug can get in this one is definitely worth it for them. That was a really good position first by them. Like, they all went in different places on the trees. Ben just got really lucky with the initial bounce that went right into the BS. But at the same time, it was a really good counter initiation by the eHug team. The air split got, I think, 3 heroes and pretty much killed the Puck right away.
Yeah, the Puck going down there was a very, very big kill. You don't want the magic damage from that Puck making too much of an impact in your team fight. But even without the Puck, this Slark, even with 1 life, he was able to accomplish so much. So it's difficult for eHug, not impossible as we see. Now there's no Aegis in the Slark, but now he's got 3,300 gold. What does he go for next?
Look at bottom.
Oh, wait, yeah, bottom. It looks like Leo style. Oh, no. This is not helping your case, Union. Man.
Frank is not happy at all. Like, just the moment that he goes in.
Yeah, if I were Infinity, I would not be happy about that either. Oh, man. So, Leo style, he's got Orb. It looked like he's actually casting Orb right now. You can see the green around his Illusory Orb. So he's ready for this, and he's been ready for this. They don't have Sheep. Seven doesn't have a blink, or does have Blink, and he can get in Lasso, but even now, I think it's a little bit too late. They know what's going on. Leo style can perfectly execute this escape, and again, this is not really helping out the case for Union Gaming.
Yeah, but that one was just bad luck for eHug. Like, it's really impossible to like actually time out the moment they go on you, just to get a pass and strategize. Maybe they get the kill on the puck regardless of the pass. Infinity is in a really good position. He can get the needle and actually stop the puck from orbing into a defending blast. So there's still hope for them to get the kill, but man, killing a puck is never easy. They need to execute it really well.
Yeah, I'm just taking a look over at chat. We've got some Union Gaming. What do you all folks think about the stream cheating allegations? Says Commando Video. Not aware of what's about to happen. Oh man, this is too perfect. All right, so we're 31 minutes in. It looks like we're about to go. Jericho popping out the sorries, but I don't know. Leo style will get away, and obviously eHug are not too happy about that one, but in the grand scheme of things, I think he would have gotten away regardless.
Either way. Yeah.
But it certainly
he was playing it really safe. Like, he went in to kill the Chris, but at the same time he was orbing the other way, so he can actually get away after he gets the creeps. So good play by him. A little unfortunate to pass, but
yeah.
I really doubt it was on purpose.
I doubt it too, but again, you got to keep a wary eye for these kind of things, especially with a team that's been accused of it. So I don't know. We might just have to review this and take the case one by one. But in the meantime, we've still got a game, and it's still a very high priority game. eHug versus Union Gaming.
We can see the Slark went for the BKB. Not a bad choice. It's always good against the other Titan. You just make just fighting against the other Titan makes your team fire potential a lot weaker, because you need to like move around the stun every time. So that just consumes a lot of time. Now he can just jump in and kill pretty much anyone from the eHug lineup.
Still has to be
without
careful of the Earth Splitter, but you're absolutely right. I mean, he fears a lot less now, and Slark, their main way to bring him down was, as you mentioned, that's just the ability that he cannot jump in, waste time to avoid the stuns, and well, eHug are losing a little bit of ground bit by bit. The Golden XP now approaching something more significant, about 10K, and both Gold and XP going the way of Union Gaming. And eHug, I mean, they're still finding their items, but I guess the question would be, are they finding them fast enough? A Necronomicon is the choice coming out from Puck. I don't know what to think about this.
I didn't expect that at all. That's kind of hard. I guess they know they are going to struggle a little bit going into the high ground, but I'm not sure if this is the item that you want to get. It's not bad at all, but it's not ideal. We're going to have a top 5.
Yeah, they're going to go ahead and jump in on this one. It looks like their target's going to be... They just blow up 7. He doesn't even get a chance in this fight. Now Merlini taking some damage from Benhaz, but there's the Earth Split coming out. But unfortunately, Benhaz will pick up a Shadow Dance and gets himself away. Merlini now trying to run, trying to hide, and Lust will go to the other side. Merlini will also drop. Leo Style finds that kill. 4 down. 2 without buyback. Merlini and Snob both have it, but don't want to break the bank for it just yet. I think Union Gaming are going to go ahead and force this one out, though. They've got plenty of time, plenty of space, and all of the all the room to work with. So a great fight coming out from them, and That's just really disappointing if you're an eHug fan.
Yeah. The bad rider is not really having any impact into the game. The Stark just jumps on him and pretty much one-shots the bad rider. And by one-shot I mean he dies like within a second. It's really hard to do something.
Yeah, they rely on being able to pick off with those lassos, and getting out like that it was a beautiful initiation target coming out from Union Gaming. They knew exactly what they needed to do, and they executed. And, well, quite literally executed. But eHug, I think they just got to find themselves a better position for that one. They have to assume that Union Gaming know exactly where they are at all times and not let Seven get picked off like that. Speaking of, he's going to be cliff jungling for a little bit, but I think Union Gaming have now assumed almost complete map control as eHug's jungle are pretty much in control of the South American team, and now they're going to push in bottom lane, but really all lanes are fairly pushed in, and eHug are just confined to their base.
Yeah. Good for eHug is that Infinity has the ship now, so that's a really good item that is definitely necessary against, for example, keeping control of the puck. Not so much for the Slark, because Slark is got the BKB and the Dark Pack and all that, so it's kind of hard to keep him locked with just one ship. But against the puck, it's definitely ideal.
We're looking at the randomized timer for Rocha right now. Zitok is going to make his way in and check this one out. Maybe they spot this out, and maybe it's a short time. It would really benefit Union Gaming if it was a really short time. Longer, it gives chance for eHug to win a fight and steal it. Ben has going to go on to Merlini, but a tornado comes out. Merlini alive for the time being. Roshan 2-minute timer, which gives a little bit of room for eHug as they survive another fight, but it looks like every single attempt is nearly killing them.
Yeah, and they need to use the BKB to get away. That's definitely not what you want to do. Like, Merlin is almost at the 5-second mark of the BKB already. And I only think he used it once offensively. Look at top. Gotta pick off on the bad rider. He's gonna end up dying.
Yeah, well, it looks like we're actually running, because of the delays today, we were running close to the time of the next game. So I'm taking a look back and forth trying to work this all out, because we got to host a lobby for that game immediately after this one, and I got to just make sure. So if I seem distant, just snap me right back into it. But yeah, they get a quick pickoff onto 7, and that is a very big pickoff. Now, he does have buyback, but is only out for about 35 seconds, so nothing too consequential. But every single death opens up Roche further and further for the Union Gaming squad, and giving them an Aegis right now is almost a death sentence.
We can see the Stark pick up the Abyssal Blade. He doesn't need any more items right now at this point. He can actually destroy the eHug lineup with just this. They're definitely going to wait for the Russian though before actually going high ground.
Yep. Just to give themselves a little bit of extra protection versus this, because breaking the high ground has been quoted as one of the scariest things to do for anyone, whether you're pub or pro or anyone in between. It's absolutely devastating, because one bad fight can mean a game for you if you're trying to break the high ground from ahead, far or not very far ahead. So getting that Aegis will give them every last bit of advantage they need to make sure it's a safe, effective, and successful high ground break. And unfortunately, they go in to scout it about a couple seconds before it comes back. But I imagine they would check it constantly, and it looks like maybe not. This is rather surprising, but they're going to give
finally went for the Agamins. The Pog has a scepter. He's getting it right now.
So, I mean, we look at this Necronomicon. What has it accomplished so far? I mean, I don't really notice its effects right now.
In the top 5, he summoned it and pretty much died right away to the ultimate from Razor. And he was on BKB, so he didn't actually get damaged by that. He just get easy gold.
Yeah. I mean,
so
it's 400 gold that you can just give away if you're not careful.
I'm not sure why he went for the Necro build. Maybe when they go for the push after the rush, we're gonna see the effect of the item itself. But hopefully, because that's like 5k gold invested in an item that you didn't actually need.
Yeah, Roshan does get scouted out, but unfortunately, They don't have anything in their arsenal to stop this, and they'll just go ahead and clean him up. Ben has finding himself an Aegis, and like typical aggressive, I just got an Aegis fashion, they're going to smoke themselves up and try to find a pick. And right now, Lust is alone on his side of the river, and everyone else is in a very aggressive position. They go 4v5 here, they almost certainly win a team fight.
Dire's top tower.
And I wonder what their plan is for right now. I mean, Leo Style is scouting things out. They still have a little bit of time left on the smoke. And yeah, now they go ahead, back to defend. Leo Style TPs himself in. Tornado a little bit late, or a little bit early rather, and the rest of them make their way. Astral Spirit trying to scout things as Merlini starts to TP first. Snot gets out immediately. Infinity as well. And 7, well, 7 is sitting with the Boots of Travel, but not doing anything right now. They bypass him completely, and he gets himself away too, so no casualties on the side for Roche, but the high ground is certainly the next target, though, for Union Gaming. They didn't get the pick they wanted, but they do still have the Aegis. And maybe they wait for Centaur Warrunner's BKB to come out, though.
Yeah, I was seeing that. He's really close. They're definitely waiting for that. But eHug did the right thing. They tried to force TPs into the top tower. Oh, 7 got pick off.
Oh yeah, this is devastating. I mean, he's aggressively farming right now, which is already a pretty risky maneuver. But every single pickoff like that is just is one step closer to the end game. So they got to be really careful. Ben has now in a lot of trouble. They pop the Abyssal onto him, and now they throw out everything they've got. They wait for the stun, but maybe they get a bash. Maybe Double Eye of the Storm comes out. How long can he survive to get this damage off, though, as Benhaz just turns right onto him, bashes out, but he's still not dead. Benhaz goes down once, but Merlini finally drops. It's Leo Style to clean him up. Can they get a return kill onto Leo, though? He gets himself away with a phase shift. Can he blink? He won't be able to. He'll go down. That's a 1 for 2 so far, but the high ground still remains. The Tornado off the mark, and Aegis gets popped on Benhaz, so this is now where Union Gaming, they try to regroup themselves. They still are in a commanding spot, 2 heroes down without buyback on the side of eHug. And I think Union Gaming might just go for this one again.
Yeah, they have to. Razor is the main source of damage from eHug, so if they leave at this point, it's really going to backfire later on. This is a really good opportunity to break high ground.
Yep, and they go for it. They're in siege. The glyph gets popped a little prematurely, and where the hell did Slark go?
Yeah, he blinked out.
That was interesting. All right, so Slark gets himself away. Union Gaming are all alive, and well, Elder Titan's back. Razor's still in the death for 20 seconds. 110 left on his Refresher's Orb. It did help him pop the Aegis of the Slark, but now it feels like maybe he should wait. Yep, Gudii getting caught in flames. Mystic Flare comes down, though. Will clean up Lust. Zetok taking the negative Vengeance Aura, but they don't get greedy after all of that, and they drop another. Merlini's back, but with no Double Eye of the Storm, has 1 ready to go.
Guess what's happening?
Union Gaming are just playing it back a little bit. They are in no hurry, it feels like.
Yeah, they don't have to push it that fast. They're... Oh, look at the fight.
Yep, they're going to go ahead, turn on to Jericho. Merlini pops his BKB for this one, so they don't net a kill. This is very devastating, and yep, BKB down on cooldown, and no kills gotten. Just cooldowns falling to the wayside on eHug. I
don't know if it was on purpose by the Union Gaming that they're blinking like that and they just get away. If it was on purpose, that was a really big play because they forced out the ultimate from the Razor and a BKB charge. Like, for absolutely nothing, just a blink. And at the same time, if eHug committed a little bit more than what they did, they could have actually just turned around and got the better fight.
Yeah, so Union Gaming essentially just touring with their prey is what you're saying here. So they're sieging. The slow siege is real, and Union Gaming, I mean, they're all grouped up, ready to go. Everyone's back and still fighting. eHug are ready. Eye of the Storm back in 5 seconds with 18 on Refresher. They pull Jericho up to the high ground, and maybe they finally get a kill. They will. On this other side of the map, though, Benhaz makes his way onto the high ground. They hit him with Hex before he's able to pop his BKB or even Dark Pact out of it. So now They're going to try to take a good fight off the back of this one. Gudii could drop. They need one more flame break. Can they find it? Instead, Ben has in a lot of trouble. Merlini, does he pop his double ultimate? He does. Double Eye of the Storm comes out, but Ben has Ahri far away, and another wasted cooldown. But they still get 2, which buys them a lot of time and space in this game. And very well played on their part.
Yeah. It's definitely not wasted. Hero Fresh the Midas did that extra value. Because another 200 gold. Just kidding. But yeah, the initiation of the center, he almost got away. Oh, I mean on the Ogre Magic. With the Bad Rider, that was really big. And that's always the fear that you gotta have against going up against a Bad Rider. You need to wash up your position a lot more than you usually do. The moment you get lasso, you can just see yourself in the enemy base. Like within a second.
Another Hex before he's able to get BKB or Dark Pack. Now immediately pops it off and gets himself away. But I think we talked about earlier on this game this ability for eHug to just turtle it out and stall things. And that's exactly what's going on right now. Their base has been broken. A tier 3 has gone down. But I mean, their other two tier 3s are still fairly healthy. And one probably hasn't taken much damage at all. And I mean, eHug still stand 45 minutes in, and they've weathered the storm for the most part, but Roshan is still down for a large sum of time, and it doesn't look like eHug are in any position to really push anything right now.
No, they're definitely playing on the backside and just playing passive. But that's what they need to do. I don't blame them for that. Like, they're slowly trying to get some out farm. Like, for example, the BS is really out of position, but at the same time, he's pushing the lane and getting something. He's really close to a halberd. That's an that's a decent pickup.
Oh yeah, that's really good versus the Slark. Can he? Dark Pact gives rid of that, doesn't it?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah,
pretty sure.
I think it's a hard dispel. It's pretty close to. So it's a very difficult call. Dispels are one of the most annoying things to deal with when you're thinking in DOTA2 terms. I mean, what, you've got multiple dispels, Purge being on its own level, being a dispel, but with added effects. It's a lot to keep track of, but yeah, I think Dark Pact will get rid of that. But if they can Hex him, maybe wait for the Dark Pact and then pop it on him, they should be able to keep him under the ropes. I don't see really many auto attackers else on the side of Union Gaming that they'd have to worry about.
It's mostly about baiting the Slark to use either the Dark Pact or even a BKB. Like, for example, if he goes for the high ground and just tries to tank the tower and he gets halberd, then he's going to use the Dark Pact or just move back. And either way, it can give eHug the opening that they need to actually initiate on the Slark, for example.
Yeah, so, I mean, that does give them a little bit of extra oomph in these fights, and maybe it will work to their advantage. But
their position.
Maybe Gudii can find something. He blinks in and finds Lust, and Lust, being the squishy target he is, will go down, barely surviving, thinking of swapping out, but doesn't get it. Infinity as well. What a big set of kills, both down, no buyback. And the top racks are in a lot of trouble right now. Ben is going to look for more, doesn't even want the racks right now. He wants kills, and he'll find it. Snaz down, no buyback on him. Base wide open, 3 down, no buyback. And this is just rapidly falling to the wayside. They're going to go ahead and get Ben out with a lasso. Double Eye of the Storm flies out from Merlini, but what can he do with this? He's trying to chase, but Union Gaming, they're just waiting it out. They back themselves off, regroup, and they can just attack right back again and not really have to worry about anything. Ben mostly out because most of his damage is stolen away, but now he's back in. Onto Merlini. Merlini's going to go down. Does a little bit of damage in his wake, but it's not going to matter. Buys back, but this time without an Eye of the Storm. And, well, I can't help but feel... Oh, hold on. Backdoor protection's up. No, now it's down, so... I can't help but feel like Union Gaming have succeeded in winning this game, but it's not over yet. One rack's down, but eHug are still fighting. Stampede goes in though. Merlini down, no buyback. 120 seconds. Refreshers finished on the Leo style. Blink on to Jericho.
That was such a big mistake. He shouldn't have chased them. He doesn't even have the BKB. No, the Razor going out. Oh. What the?
Yeah, Jericho stays a little bit too long, and he'll go down. And it looks like Infinity's looking for more, but getting over aggressive has proved a little too much that they can for them to handle here, and they're going to back themselves off. Both teams, as Roshan spawns up again, and if they put another Aegis onto Slark, what does he give away for his Aegis if he were to go for it? I think if they don't give it to the Slark, they give it to someone else.
He could actually afford to keep up the blink target for Aegis, but it's not definitely necessary at this point, so they gonna give it to the center, I believe. The Bulk doesn't have the slow for it. He went for a Refresher Orb.
Yep. Speaking of Refresher, this is an Ags Refresher puck. And, I mean, not really difficult math. We're looking at 16 seconds of coil. That's pretty much an entire team fight. I think 8 is enough for what Union Gaming need, but given these long, drawn-out, all-over-the-place fights, it's really effective. And, I mean, it's going to be difficult for eHug to deal with, so we'll have to see. They find themselves another Aegis. You were exactly right with Gudii picking up the Aegis of Immortality, and now bottom lane, it seems to be their target. Grouping up mid, though. It looks like finally we got a Pipe of Insight finish. This is a pretty late pipe, all things considered, but not worst. And in terms of magic damage, it helps versus the Elder Titan, but the magic damage coming out from eHug is not really that substantial at the moment. Nothing really is substantial on this part, so.
This is definitely another questionable pick-off item pool from Union Gaming.
Yeah, they're going to go straight into Merlini. They've got all the bashes in the world to bring him down. An Earthsplit comes out, and it will hit on 3. But it's not really doing too much work. What is doing work is the Eye of the Storm. Gudii will drop. That's life number 1. They're trying to steal as much from Benhaz as possible. And oh man, last will hitting onto Merlin, taking a lot of damage. Benhaz, what are these guys doing? They're diving way past the tier 3 right now. Not even focusing on the buildings. Sunstrike will come out, but will miss. Benhaz, though, will still drop. Hold on. Maybe Flame Break off the mark. Jericho goes down, but Benhaz still alive. That would have been a huge pickoff. They got it.
They didn't even use any buybacks from the eHug's lineup. That was a really good defense. Union Gaming got a little bit overexcited going on the Razor. It's a good call, but at the same time, they got a BS. He's going to swap and get away safely. At that point, you just need to move back and regroup instead of diving for it.
Yeah, I don't know. eHug are still holding. And even though they've lost to Rax, it's not the worst thing in the world at 52 minutes. At this point, Raxes mean nearly nothing except the wave passively pushes into your base. Like, everything relies on having either 2 or mid. Yep. They're going to wait mid. They've got a smoke. They get the initial hex onto Benhaz. Now he's got no way of getting away from this one. Godlike. Gone in a second. 95 seconds down for the Slark. But he's got buyback, and now it looks like eHug. I think they're going to try to force this one.
They're definitely at least forcing the buyback. That's really good for them.
This is only one Eye of the Storm. They still have refreshers on cooldown, so Merlini not mowing down towers, but certainly working faster than average. And
they're not even gonna force the buyback. That's not enough, but it's definitely at least a way back to control the game, sort of. Like,
yeah, it helps.
At least Slark now has to be like a little bit more cautious when he's farming. Like, for example, he wasn't really far up. He was like the middle.
He felt invincible. BKB, Dark Pact. I mean, that's hex out of smoke and perfect chaining of your stuns. They didn't even need. They could overlap those stuns heavily. They still had the damage to deal with them, but they got really good chain off, and they were able to bring him down quickly, efficiently, and all of that work that he's got. I mean, he's 13-3 right now. That means to only die 3 times in a 53-minute game is huge. The only one comparable is Skyrath, who's died twice, and Puck, who's also died 3 times. So, I mean, this is really an incredible game coming out from Union Gaming in terms of being able to keep themselves alive. But eHug are playing an equally great game in that they're playing it safe. They're not being over aggressive, and they're holding their ground for the most part. So well played for both teams, but only one can win this. We're 54 minutes in, and still no clear winner in sight.
Yeah. Union Gaming still has control over the game, but they're getting like $6 on pretty much every hero, so they're not gonna get that much stronger from this point. As for eHug, they still have a lot of room to keep on improving. So if they get another 5 going up for eHug, then no, it was just they got baited by the illusion, I think.
Oh man, you were saying?
Not a big loss. Oh, if eHug manages to win another fight and defend their base, I think they're going to win the game. They just need like one more big fight, and they're going to get a lot out of it. In terms of items and map control.
Yeah, items are already pretty scary for both teams, but give eHug any more than this, and I mean, they will end the game. Razor, by the way, still has his Midas going strong, and I mean, it's helped. It's definitely been a significant player in this game. As we mentioned, it got these items out for him, even though it felt like, for the most part, okay, well, maybe not as much as it was when he bought the Midas, but they had a little bit of trouble finding Farmer on the map, especially in these last 10 to 15 minutes where they've been confined to their base. Now they've got a little bit of map control back, and he's sitting on 3,200 gold. I mean, where does he go from here? He's got the Axe Refresher. Is he going to go for something like an Assault Cuirass and just sell his Midas? Or did they already have an Assault Cuirass and I'm completely blind?
Infinity is working on one, I believe. And I think it's going to be a Shivas, probably the AC for him.
Whichever
Maybe
it is,
he
can't
goes for
quite
the
get to the
Shiva.
secret shop yet.
Yeah, the Razor can't afford to get an item right now. Like, even though he's got the gold for it, he needs to save the buyback.
Yeah.
That's the priority.
That's the big thing. And taking a look at the buybacks, by the way, I've got them up on the screen for all to see. Everyone but 4. Okay, well, okay, I should just say 4 heroes don't have buybacks. 3 on the side of Union Gaming, and 1 belonging to Lust not having the buyback. And all 4 of them, fairly significant amount of gold they need to farm before it's Z-Talk. Only about 400, but everyone else nearing about 1,000. And
We have
here's
a big
smoke
fight
up from
coming.
Union Gaming. Let's see what they can accomplish off of this one, as this could be it. If eHug win this, they're live for another 1-2 team fights and maybe take it. But Union Gaming, this is all they have to take to win the game. It's going to be an uphill battle for them, and it looks like I got all hyped for nothing as they back themselves off to the bottom lane.
Yeah, that was really weird, Smoke. Like, the intention was really good. That they had a lot of potential. They just needed either a ward to like place it on the enemy base and jump in, or just go through the top lane, which is completely open right now. And instead, they just went bottom for some reason and didn't even get anything out of it.
Yeah.
Even after they were walking bottom, I saw the center like actually pointed out that they should have went top, but it was too late already.
Oh well, I mean, okay, it's not oh well. At this point in the game, mistakes will cost a lot, so that could end up having a huge impact on this. But one thing's for sure, they do have time to sit around and wait for Roche. There's no hurry on their part. I'm not quite sure if eHug are going to go ahead and try to contest it this time. It depends on how long it takes. If it takes too long, I don't think Union Gaming want to wait around. But if it comes out like 30 seconds, then they could easily just take it and not be contested. So it all comes down to when it spawns, how short the randomized timer is, and I'm keeping an eye on this one as I want to see what's going to happen.
Look at the Razor. He had more money than we thought. He's got the Eagle Zone, despite the pretty much 4K, so he's going to get the butterfly for the next fight. That's really helpful. They don't have ships, or well, I think they actually don't have any ships on Union Gaming. That's weird. So they don't really have any way to stop the evasion from the Razor.
Someone just bought a sheep. I guess I'm wrong. Maybe no one just bought a sheep.
I think it was the Bad Rider, I believe.
Oh, Batrider did. Okay, so I wasn't going crazy. So they've got 2 sheeps on eHug, and you're right, Union Gaming, they've got nothing, no way to deal with the butterfly. And Slark, I mean, he relies so much on that auto attack. If he can't bring down Merlini on the auto attack alone, well, that is trouble.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to get an MVP either. So this butterfly pickle can actually win them the game.
It can. He's got to wait a little bit on it, though. It's 2,200 gold. If he buys it outright, he doesn't have buyback. So
he just needs to use the Midas and Soto drums, and then he's fine. But he doesn't have the space to actually leave the base, which is funny. I think he's had the Midas off for like 40 seconds or something. Or just confined into the base.
Uni Gaming have their courier by Roche scouting it out every now and then. It's going to be back up in 10 seconds, and I think this is where eHug have to make the decision. Do they get themselves in position and defend this Roche, or weather the storm one more time and just hope that they can survive another Aegis? That's up to them, as they'd have to make that decision right now, and it doesn't look like they're really making a call either way. As Roshan, the big boy's back. Second cheese of the game. And it could all come down to this. I know I've said that a lot this game, but I mean, it hasn't been any less true any other time, so. Oh, I mean, as my famous catchphrase go, we'll have to see. And yeah, eHug, they've made either conscious or unconscious decision not to go after this Roshan, and that'll be another Aegis and cheese going the way of Union Gaming. And another storm's a-brewing. Let's see if eHug have what it takes to stand it out.
They actually don't have any room at this time. Oh, Ben just dropping the BKB for the Aegis. Well, not dropping, he's leaving it on the courier, so it could be a big micro from him during the fight.
Yeah, he's after he have to 7 slot this. I mean, it makes perfect sense why he's doing it. I mean, he needs the blink for these initiations for mobility purposes, and of course, give or take the blink, I'd take a BKB over a blink, but you don't exactly use the BKB in your first Aegis life. I mean, it's generally frowned upon for the most part. So if he can get in, maybe spend the Aegis, blink himself out, and then courier out his BKB, and then go right back in with a BKB, that's probably his plan for now, but we'll have to see. This is a butterfly finish and 3,100 gold on Razor. Midas going to go the way of something, but for now, it's purely buyback and buffer gold.
Yes.
They just waited out. An early pipe gets popped, and that doesn't last for all that long of time. So that pipe's going to be down before they actually break the high ground, which is pretty unfortunate on their part.
I think the reasoning behind the pipe was just to keep the creeps alive into the base.
Oh, maybe. Jericho in a lot of trouble. They're going to go ahead and get him with the lasso. If he drops, he's going to get forced out on a low ground. Now Benhaz goes in onto 7, but 7's usefulness is pretty much spent. Stays close, looking for the sheepstick opportunity, but Merlini, he's just sitting through it all. He's got about half HP, dropping pretty low. The multicast, are they enough? Is the auto attack? Benhaz will clean him up. Buys back immediately though, and is right back on into the game. And Infinity will find himself a killing spree. Benhaz is dead, but the BKB is back, and he's got 10,000 gold on his person. They back themselves off. The high ground is held, and the tier 3s standing again. 3 for none, or 3 for 1 in a buyback. Hey, he gets spent.
One buyback.
Oh,
the buyback is important because it wasn't a racer, but other than that, eHug is just outplaying Union Gaming a lot. This is the bear right there, finally making a big impact into the game with the lassos. He's getting initiation on every time they come nearby the base.
Yeah, he's forcing Union Gaming to initiate on eHug's time, and that's a real problem for Union. They need to get their own initiations off, and not being able to kill it out the Razor was a big part of that. He still is vulnerable. I mean, you saw he died pretty quickly despite all said and done, but it's still he's still trouble. If he sits in the middle of the team fight with a double ultimate, you can expect one of your guys to die and everyone else to have very low armor. So
look at that, Infinity might die.
Yeah, Infinity in a lot of trouble, and Ben has a quick and easy kill onto him. That's unfortunate. Lasso comes out, no Dark Pack. Do they have a Hex? 7 needs to turn around to get it right now, but he's being stunned, and now he goes down. Lust in a lot of trouble. Benaz with the BKB, but it doesn't even matter. Turns around for the Magic Missile and immediately gets stunned out. Dark Packed out, doesn't dispel the Heaven's Halberd, by the way. Thanks, Cart, for dropping that stat. He was disconnected.
I
Oh, well.
return. Marry a mark upon me.
Oh man,
Yeah,
that's
that was a
pretty huge.
big misplay. Yeah.
I mean,
Infinity shouldn't have been that far off.
Lust is down, no buyback. 7 has a buyback, and Invoker. Infinity
Oh.
already spends his. If he dies right now, this is huge, and he will. 100 seconds in the ground, and no way out. Greedy trying to run away, but he does have a Ghost Scepter. Leo style drops, phase shifts himself out. Can he find the TP? He's looking for it, doesn't get it. He goes down, but there's a 1-for-1 so far. Ben has, he goes down. This is big, and he will. 100 seconds on the floor, and buybacks actually come back for both Ben has and Leo style, and they're going to make their way immediately back into the game. But Leo style TP's into a creep, and the creep dies. Meanwhile, Greedy on the run, but he won't get away. Ben has going to go for Sna, finds him, kills him, and the fish gets the kill. Looking for more, looking for Lust. Can he get it? He's going to look for it. No Dispel onto the Disarm, but it doesn't even matter because it doesn't last all that long, and he'll go down. Now Ben has, can't die here. Please, get away. And looks like he will. Okay. I'm surprised he's actually not popping his Butterfly. That extra movement speed could end up making a huge impact in these, but he gets away. Albeit with most of his damage gone. Elder Titan buys back, and now we're left with one buyback in the game. One buyback belonging to Jericho. So this is it. And speaking of Jericho, he's running away, gets Static Link for a little bit of time. Dream Coil goes down. Ben has looking, finds Merlini, but isn't able to secure anything. Now 7, looking at Leo style, not able to do anything with that. Has to wait out the Dream Coil, all 8 seconds of it. And getting hit on by Necro Creeps this entire time. Merlini on the run. And Merlini under the gun. He'll go down. Jericho goes down as well. Ben has.
Buyback on.
He's still alive and kicking, but maybe not for long. He stuns out Snob, but the Hex comes out and he goes down. Oh man. This is like no one living through this. Leo style getting himself away, but Sna, Infinity, and Leo style are the sole survivors of that. In comes Greedy back in the fight. And
What a
Leo
timing
style.
for Infinity to get back into the game. Like, he revived right as they needed it. And guess with the chip into benches. They could have lost the game if the Slark doesn't die right there.
And I gotta agree with our magical number of letters coming up on the side of the screen. Where are the towers going? Like, these racks are still standing. Union Gaming effectively had been fighting under the effigies, and the racks are still alive. It's just crazy. I mean, whether or not they really feel like they need to get these kills, I don't know. They're going to go in for Lust, though. Greedy taking a lot of damage, a lot of heat. It gets hit by the Earth Splitter, and Sna will go in, but there is a Ghost Scepter. The Pipe keeping him alive through it, but he runs back up onto the high ground, and he could just go down. Sna just wailing on him. One more swipe, and it will be enough. The staple gun to the head. But Sna is the only one alive right now, and Leo style is ragging on him instead of the towers. Now he goes in the towers. Finally some value from these Necronomicons. And the racks, well, they should go down here. In comes Jericho looking to assist, and now they go for the Megas. They turn around. Jericho, that's the wrong building, dude. And yeah, they're going to go for the tier 3s. No one is alive for 12 seconds. Megas. Well,
This might be it. Oh no, they're backing. Oh no, they're still hanging around. They need to.
Necronomicon not lasting nearly long enough to help out with this, but doesn't matter. They want this. They're going for Sna, but Leo style. No, dude. He's going to get hooked. Lassoed, sorry, and he gets pulled right back and down for 120.
Look at the Slark.
Still no Megas.
Oh no.
What the hell? Benaz somewhere in the back lines of the fight will go down, or will go ahead and kill Sna. Kills 7 as well. Wants more. Wants Merlini. He doesn't have an MKB, but it doesn't matter. Merlini's gone. Benaz alive in the base. And GG's. Oh, oh man. Well.
Oh man. That's not the ending that I was expecting. Or not the ending that I wanted.
So what are your final thoughts about this one? I mean, I gotta ask.
No, to be honest, Onion Gaming deserved the game. Like, they played a lot better than eHug did overall. They had control in the game, pretty much all stages of the map. It was just mostly their throwing rather than eHug actually holding up. Towards the late game, it was actually just big plays from the eHug boys. They were defending their base really well, but I think Onion Gaming could actually ended the game a lot earlier.
Well, it takes a while. It takes a bit of heart and soul, but they come out on top. Guys, you're watching Chicago TEDcast, and these games for you guys at TEDcast on Twitter, joined by fan of Soyan. We got one more game in the night. Oh, yeah, again, Cart Dota was our statsman for the day. So if you have anyone you want to follow on Twitter, these are the 3 names for you guys. One more game for the day. Teamwork, not teamwork makes the dream work. What is it? Team Marino, Meet Marino going up against Together We Did It. So that'll be coming up really soon. In the meantime, stick around. More CEVO action will be coming up next.
Feel so free, just believe we can come alive. We're so far from the ground, but I'm not looking down. Feel the warmth of the breeze rushing over me.
I can join for another game.
Now it's all